Hi there, it's Sam from pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have got a lovely little paper bag that is made with half a sheet of designer series paper, but I've aged it and I wanted to show you the aging process, or how you make a bag look aged. So this one is done in Sahara sand, but I'm going to do a slightly different version or the same version but in crumb cake this time. I'm going to show you how to make it. Very easy. The bag, as I said before, uses half a sheet of scrapbook paper, 12 by 12 paper, which is 6 inches by 12 inches, which is 15 by 30.5 centimetres. So when you've got the long side at the top, the scoring comes quite simply at 5.5 and 6.5 inches, which is 14 and 16.5 centimetres. So that's all you do with it, with the long side at the top. When you've got the short side at the top, because it's obviously we're going up the length, this time you score at 1 inch all the way down and at 5 inches all the way down, and that is 2.5 centimetres, 12.5 centimetres. So that's it. That's all you do for scoring of the bag. And I've got a dreadfully squeaky chair today. Do you know what? I don't hear the squeaks normally, only when I'm filming. So fold the score lines and burnish them. There goes my phone. Turn it off. And then you come in with your paper snips, and we're going to snip this way because the bag is going to fold up this way. And we bring this one back in. So you just cut up and trim in if you think you need to. I did there because I wibbled. But just cut straight up there. And then to stick the box down, use a dry adhesive. Don't use Tombow or any kind of liquid adhesive, because liquid adhesive on paper makes the paper warp. It's just not good. So it's better to use a dry adhesive. So you put some on the 2 little tabs, and then on the long side, the longer sections, but only on one part, so you don't put them at the top because it's all going to wrap round. So the first thing to do is stick the sticky bit onto the sticky bit, and this is one that's still with the sticky adhesive there, over the top of that tab, and then we can bring in this side and the same on the opposite side. That's kind of really our bag made. That's pretty much it. Although I will point out that actually I managed to put the tabs and the tag and everything on the back of this one. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to put that to one side because I need to age that in a minute and do the stamping. Now the tag is using the angle tag top punch, and my piece measures 4 by 2 inches, which is my favourite size for a tag. I rarely make a tag a different size, which is 10 by 5 centimetres. And my huge stamp here is a background stamp. It's called En Francais, and it's a lovely, great big stamp. It really is beautiful and I love it. And actually I think it's kind of a foreground stamp as well. But I've got mine mounted up on my block. This is the F block, the biggest we do. And I've got my crumb cake ink, and you take the ink to the stamp, whereas normally you take it the other way around. But this is just to make sure it's completely covered, because at this stage I don't know which bit of my stamp's going to hit there. It's probably going to go at a dreadful angle, because when you're using a big background stamp onto something that you've already cut, you do obviously want to be straight and you want to look vertically down on that. But if I did that, you'd get the back of my head in your camera, in your eye line. So I'm going for it. I'm just going to go for it and hope that's pretty straight. That's not bad. I'm kind of pleased with that. Oh, I'm very pleased actually. So I'm quite pleased with that result. So it's pretty straight. So you need your tag topper punch obviously now, and make sure that your wording, not that I can read any of it, unfortunately I don't speak French, but make sure your wording is the right way round. Chop off the top and the bottom, round the corners of the bottom. And this is where we're just going to sponge everything. Oh, actually, sorry, I do need to cut out my flowers. Where's my scrap? So I'll take 3 of these. And then 3 little ones. That's the Petite Petals punch, and this one is the Itty Bitty Shapes punch pack. Crumb cake sponge, crumb cake everything else that I've got here. And you now just distress and sponge up the edges. Don't try and be too neat, because you'll be there all year if you try and be too neat. Just go for it. And lots of ink, and just age all these edges and just make it look a bit battered and tattered. Hopefully you can see that. Do the flowers as well. Cover my thumbnail in ink, probably. And cover my fingers in ink. I think I might need to re-ink this pad. So all of those, and then these ones as well. Oops. And in this bag, basically you just come in and you come on to all 4 of the sides. If you feel you need to put your hand in to give it a little bit of strength, go for it. But just do the same as I did on the tag. Definitely need to re-ink this pad. All the way around on the front, across the top. And then you would continue to do it all the way around the sides and the back and just everywhere, basically. Just beat your bag up. I won't do it because obviously you can see the principle of what I'm doing. I think it needs a bit more around there. Oops. Throw it around as well while you're at it. So you can see the principle of what I've done. I'm going to lift these flowers up because I want to attach everything kind of all at the same time. And you've seen me do this plenty of times before if you've watched my videos. I love making these flowers 3D. I'm going to grab my pearls. I have the largest ones in the middle of the big flowers. I can't seem to pick up today. And then the very tiny ones in the middle of the little flowers. And start sticking it all together. So glue dots on the back of the flowers. So I shall have nesting down at the bottom. And you can do this aging process with any colour. It doesn't have to be a neutral. I've done this with the Regal's colours quite frequently. I suppose it probably wouldn't work quite as well with the Brights. I think it probably is one that, you know, is a technique that is perhaps better for more muted colours. So that's those already. And I've got some of the lovely linen thread to go through here. Oops. Get it to go through. Just tie a knot in the end of that, if I can. Just get it to about the length I want. There we go. And then you need a hole punch to punch the holes in the bag at the top. And definitely just pinch in the sides a little bit. And that would be my computer. Pinch in the sides a little bit. And then punch a hole through the top. And give yourself dropsy and throw it on the floor as well while you're there, practically. And then bring in your ribbon. And I used very vanilla on this one because it was Sahara Sand. This time I'm going to use the crumb cake because it, you know, got a whole theme going on. And this is the seam binding, which is so lovely and it's very nice to work with. apart from when you're trying to put it through a hole. Doesn't want to play then. Oh, for goodness sake, what's going on? See if I can do it like this. There we go. So pull it all through. Attach on your tag that you've already made. And tie off a bow or a knot, whatever you fancy, depending on who you're giving it to, I suppose, as to what kind of a finish you put on it. I'm going to try a bow. I'm getting braver at trying the bows in my videos. There we go. It could have been better, but we'll pretend it's gorgeous. And just trim off those bits. And that is my aged paper bag with a terrible bow on the top. It's not so bad. Anyway, I hope you like it, and thank you very much for joining me. Bye.